Hi, this is Phil and Tricia from SkiTalk.com, and we're going to be talking about the Fischer The Curv GT80. Now, I was going to channel my inner Brian Lanigan and wear a beanie. I know Brian wears one. It's just not me. Sorry, dude. I got to go back to my regular hat here. It just doesn't work for me.
You do wear a lot of hats, Phil.
I do.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about the Curv GT80. Now, we've got three Fischers here that, quite frankly, almost could be a three-ski quiver, but we're going to concentrate in the center part of that, being that Curv GT80, and we'll explain how we feel and how this can work either way.
So for starters, I've been on a couple of iterations of the Curv. The 80 is by far the most versatile that I've been on.
Going back to the RC1 and such, yeah.
Yep. And we had the RC178, I believe, a few years ago. But what I really like about it is that its tip profile and its tail profile is just wide enough that it gives it a little bit more substance. It makes it just a little bit more substantial if you get into a little bit extra snow. But it's 80 underfoot. It is, as the name would say, the curve.
Yep.
It's very carvy, and it really does get a nice edge hold and zips around on the groomers and is a good balance of a ski. I found in the spring especially, I really enjoyed it because in the morning when it's crispier, I had that carvability on the groomers. And as things started to slush up a little bit, get a little bit tackier, the substance with the tip and tail profile just really helped me to manage getting around in the slush and the crud.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned something as far as tip profile and tail profile. One of the things that we talk about a lot is narrow, wide skis and wide, narrow skis. And how, especially when we get into that mid 80 millimeter segment, skis can get some of the attributes of either direction. I skied the GT85 a lot, had a lot of days in that, loved the ski. What I found with the GT series and the 80 and the 85, it really isn't pigeonholed in that area. But we've got a ski here that really does have its own character and really epitomizes that 80-some millimeter segment.
It does. And I would say that if you were somebody coming to me saying, you know, I'm going to take a couple lessons and I want to get a ski that's going to be really good for me to take lessons on and learn how to carve a little bit more cleanly, I would absolutely recommend this all day long.
Right.
Because it's easy to manipulate. It's a very good ski to be able to take a lesson and try a drill and do something with it without it punishing you.
Right.
And where some of the really super carve specific skis, like if you get into the noise, you might not want to do drills on that ski. You might be more inclined to just go rip up the groomers and not do that. But this is a very workable ski.
Right. Now, guys, I know we're talking about this version here. There is a red version of the ski.
You know, you keep saying that. You know, Phil, hush. You know, when they came out with the Fischer Ranger 102 or was it 104 a few years ago, and they brought it out in pink, and the next year they eliminated the pink, the boys were screaming, you got rid of my pink ski. So the dudes love pink and purple as well.
You got me on that one. But there is another version of the ski that's shown right here. So, but in this mid 80-some millimeter category, and again, I spent a lot of time that 85 value-wise. The 80 really is tough to beat.
It is. It's absolutely a really remarkable ski in that particular spot in the wall.
Yeah. I mean, construction-wise, it's the same as the 85. It's just scaled down a little bit, and chances are for a lighter, little more finesse skier, a smaller skier, it really is a great option, especially somebody who might be in East or skiing a smaller mountain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a great ski. Like, I grew up in Michigan.
Right.
If I lived in Michigan right now, that would be my daily driver.
You're saying you grew up.
No, I didn't really.
But yeah, again, Mid-Atlantic, coming from the Poconos, again, a great option of a ski. The Curv GT80 is a fun ski. The Noise is a fun ski. And if you want a three-ski quiver, take a look at these three. You're going to be set forever on these three skis. These are fun skis because in the end, skiing is fun.
Hi, everybody. Deb Armstrong here. And remember, skiing is fun.